It's, I believe, week 17.
Yeah, week 17. It's another year.
Another year and several months, I believe.
Yeah. Really, time flies when you're failing to have a podcast.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday was New Year's Eve.
Truly. And
I was going to say, let's do a year in review, but at this point, I think there's like a month and a half to review.
yeah, I haven't cared for it.
It's been crazy. It's been a crazy month and a half.
Lots of wild things have happened, most of which I've predicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I predicted that Kevin Bacon would show his penis.
Yeah, he did.
And he did. Lots of wild things.
Yeah. Who's expecting the aliens to come back and take the pyramids? Apparently.
Just repoed them. I guess we were supposed to be
we
making payments on those.
Yes.
Did not know.
Thought they were a wonderful gift from the aliens, but
yeah, it turns out
did not keep up our end of the bargain.
We are rent to own on the pyramids. The pharaohs, not exactly known for their financial prowess.
Yeah, and spending all of the money on their tombs.
Yeah. They were getting check cash advance.
Just put it
their
into the
sarcophagus. Put it in the tomb, they say.
How many golden cat statues does one man need in his afterlife?
What just happened? Why did I get louder?
I don't know.
That was wild. Am I normal again?
It's still a little bit louder, but
yeah. I felt like I was quieter. And then when I tried to fix it, I think I made it worse.
yeah.
Hey, it's 2020. What are you going to do?
Run for office.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm excited to announce that I'm throwing my hat in the ring for the 2020 Democratic nomination. Figure there's no clear front runner yet.
Yeah.
Why not get myself in there?
Even if you don't win, it's great exposure.
I'm going to sell a lot of autobiographies. I'm just going to take Bloomberg's book and then I'm going to Sharpie out his name and then write my name in every time and then sell those. I'll have to charge more than what they cost.
Yeah, because you're going to... You think you can buy them wholesale? Do you get a price break if you buy a few thousand?
If I get them all. Well, we do the podcast. We don't do it the week it comes out. So theoretically, if I could buy them in the future at cost and then put them out in the past on the podcast, right? Then I could get them after they've gone down in value. But then when the podcast comes out, it'll be in the past. Is that how it works?
Like most time travel movies, I'm completely lost right now.
I don't know. Maybe we should just go back in time and kill Hitler. I feel like it'd be easier to kill Hitler's dad, though, right?
The fact that Hitler still is depressing because it means that no one ever invents a time machine. Because that's the first thing anybody would do.
Yeah. Or maybe Hitler, there's a timeline where Hitler, maybe there was... I don't want to say it. Never mind.
No?
What if Anne Frank turned out to be an even worse person?
She was very young, and her life could have gone a whole lot of different ways. She might have been.
There's an alternate timeline where Anne Frank ends up becoming a death cult leader, and they actually sent Hitler back in time to stop Anne Frank.
Would they? You mean like an older Hitler, like a 60-year-old Hitler who didn't kill himself in the bunker?
No, Hitler was born in the 1970s, and then he was sent back in time.
Oh,
you see,
and using his knowledge of what the future would be, he was able to rise in power, and
he was like, "These guys hate the Jews. I'll just
tell them what they want to hear."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, it's cringe, bro, but I gotta say it. I gotta stop Anne Frank." This is terrible.
I don't want to. I don't want to. So yeah, that's 2020's already a wash.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, let's just get back into our cryo chambers. Yeah. Sleep this one off, and then we'll come back in another year and try and have a better bad take on the Holocaust. Do you have any? Do you have any? Well, I was going to say, do you have any resolutions for the new year? But this is coming out so far after the new year. Do you have any resolutions for February?
For February, I'm gonna try to dress better.
That's not a bad one.
Such a slob all the time. Try to wear a shirt with a collar every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Throw away the socks that I have that have holes in them.
Keep the shirts right side out. That sort of thing. Understandable. I'm gonna catch that groundhog.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat him.
The Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. I'm gonna absorb his powers.
Seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators.
The one and only.
Oh wow.
Or probably, I would imagine at this point, like the one in 18. There's been several of those groundhogs.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like a sports team that has a live animal mascot. Like they get a new one every 5 or 6 years. It's like
Jake the Snake, where he had to have a new snake every show because he didn't know how to take care of snakes.
Yeah, he just kept killing those snakes.
The snakes were dead every
You have to feed snakes, Jake.
He's just doing coke off the back of a snake.
Some of them he just wanted to turn into boots, I think.
Yeah. Boy, that sucks to have your name be Jake, right? Everybody's like, immediately, Jake the Snake. Right? It's like Dan the Man, or in my case, Nate the Skate, which doesn't even... That's like a thing people say. Nate the Skate.
I thought you were going to say the Great.
Nate the Great, I did get that. I also, my first grade teacher, Mrs. Oyer, told the whole class to call me Late Nate because I was late for school. And it wasn't my fault. We didn't have a bus. My mom drove me to school.
It could have been worse. I mean, like if you were a fat kid, you probably would have been Clean Plate Nate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm Andrew. Nothing rhymes with that, so.
You could be Randy Andy.
That's true.
Notorious.
Drew the Pooh.
Drew the Pooh. Do the Drew. It's like Mountain Dew, but Drew.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I always hated anytime somebody would call me Drew. That was my least favorite of the permutations of Andrew.
You could have been so much cooler, though. You'd have been Drew with a U, like Drew Hill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, think about what might have been. Let's get a sound effect for this. It's like the Like the, hang on. I'm going to get a good sound effect here.
You guys are going to love this sound effect.
Oh, yeah. Harp glissando. Here we go. Oh, now we're in the alternate universe where Andrew went by Drew his whole life. First noticeable difference, you sporting a wave cap.
It's true. It keeps everything under control up here.
It is under control, and it is fresh to death. I gotta be honest.
Oh, thank you. I try.
I'm looking out the window. You're driving a Chrysler LeBaron.
Yep.
It's a cool car.
Convertible.
Yeah. It's in good shape too. It's not a new one.
No, I keep it up. Cherry red.
It's a beautiful, beautiful automobile.
It's great being Drew.
It's cool. Drew has a phone, and the screen is not cracked.
That's true.
I'm looking through his contacts list here. He's got Mark Zuckerberg on speed dial.
Yep, he's a close family friend. I've pulled him out of the weeds a time or two. Sometimes everybody needs help. Everybody needs lifelines.
Mark, get out of the weeds. What are you doing in the weeds? He's like,
I
lost my Frisbee.
You're a billionaire, bud. Let's just buy you a new one.
You can buy as many Frisbees as you want.
You can buy the goddamn Frisbee company, Mark.
But this one was lucky.
You can rename them Zuckerbergbees.
Zuckerbergbees. All through the month of February, it's Zuckerbergbees. It's buy one, get one, free appetizers. That's right. Buy one and get one. Both free. Only at Zuckerbergbees. A subsidiary of Drew Corp.
I like going to Zuckerbergbees because they have no compunction about over serving me. So I could just keep getting those.
There's just a Russian guy just keeping tabs on how many drinks you've had in the back corner, though. Why do we call it Zuckerbergbees and not Zuckerbees? It's like it doesn't exactly roll trippingly off the tongue. Zuckerbergbees. This is a pretty good bit.
Yeah. I think that Mark Zuckerberg probably should put his name on more stuff.
Zuckerberg, if you're out there, if you're listening, if you work for Facebook and you want to make a name for yourself at the company, put a couple of these podcast episodes on a thumb drive and give them to Zuck. Once we got Zuck on our side, who do you think would be the first billionaire to listen to our podcast?
Billionaire. Which billionaire? I'd figure it would be somebody we'd have to pop on their Googling of themselves. Maybe we should talk about more billionaires so that more billionaires will listen and maybe give us some of that sweet seed money.
All right. I'm just looking at the list of the world's youngest billionaires, and it looks like they're all in their 30s. Wang Han.
Yeah, we need like a company. 13 or 14-year-old billionaire would be ideal.
Yeah, that's kind of our wheelhouse.
Richie Rich is who we're targeting.
We need a Richie Rich, like a Jaden Smith. We just need to be weirder.
Yeah, we've got to make a more a stronger effort to be woke on this podcast.
We need to be like, is air real?
Everybody knows that it's not.
And then Jaden's like, oh man, right on. Amazing.
It's like I'm sexually satisfied by this podcast.
Oh, I feel like that kid is probably the worst person in the world to hang out with. I would. Oh,
yeah. I imagine he was the sort of when he'd have friends sleep over, he was probably, wouldn't let you play with any of his stuff and would say anything you wanted to do was lame, and probably end up going to a room by himself and being like, hey, just stay out there.
Even if Jaden Smith was like really into like, okay, so I'm picturing a scenario. I'm in a house.
Yeah.
I'm in the hallway. And then the hallway leads to the like the bedrooms, and then the other direction is the living room. And they're like, "Hey, Jaden Smith is in the living room and he wants to talk to you. Also, the bedrooms are all on fire." I would probably take my chances with the fire. Just the worst.
Well, we might get jaded on this one, but I
Jaden,
don't think he's going to be a
buddy.
repeat listener.
Come speak your piece. I'm gonna have to build a dummy that looks like me to just sit in the chair to have Jaden on the podcast, and he can be like, "No, see, the thing is that I'm just on another level. People don't understand me. I'm just operating on another level." And then it'll be like a tape recorder inside the dummy, like, "Wow." Just on a loop. Wow. Every few minutes.
Wild stuff. Did his acting career end, or is he just looking for a meaty role he can sink his teeth into? I remember the Karate Kid remake being a pretty big hit, and then it was just...
He did that movie where he was... I think he did the Karate Kid one. He did the one where it was... where the Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
The Work Will Set You Free movie.
Yeah.
And then he did the one where...
But not teach you how to spell happiness.
And then he did the one where it was like an M. Night Shyamalan sci-fi movie that nobody went and saw.
I don't remember that one. I didn't see it.
Was it called Titan AE? Or is that
That's
cartoon?
the animated one from the late 90s, I think.
What was that movie where it was like Will Smith and Jaden Smith?
Is it just like
Is
After
it
Earth?
After Earth? Yeah, After Earth. Yeah. I remember I photoshopped a picture of that poster, but it was Carlton and Will Smith. What was the point of that movie? For some reason, I never saw it, but I avoided spoilers.
Yeah. I don't really remember, but I wouldn't be so quick to punt on Earth. Like, let's just fix the problems we have here. Why are we moving on from Earth so quickly? All my stuff's here.
Okay, so I'm just going to read the last paragraph from Wikipedia and spoil it for us. Katai reaches the tail section and retrieves the emergency beacon along with another communicator, weapon, and more oxygen capsules. The communicator only allows Cypher to see and hear Katai, but not for Katai to hear him. Katai learns that the ship's Ursa escaped and killed the rest of the crew. The emergency beacon does not activate, and Cypher realizes that the atmosphere is blocking the signal. Katai heads to and climbs up a nearby volcano from which he can fire the beacon and is injured when the Ursa attacks him. Katai is able to control his fear and ghost himself from the Ursa enough to kill it. He then fires the beacon. A rescue team arrives, and the two travel back to Nova Prime.
It's as simple as that.
There it is. Yeah, fuck. When you're trying to, like, fire the beacon and the Ursa keeps attacking you?
Yeah, you gotta ghost that Ursa.
Gotta ghost that Ursa.
Just enough. You don't want to go full ghost.
What is an Ursa?
I think it's like a
bear, right?
Yeah.
It's a fucking bear. Wait, is this a movie where there's every spaceship?
After Earth, we're going back to Latin. The whole movie's in Latin.
So we're to believe this, like, there's a ship with a bear on board. Every ship has to have a bear, and if the bear gets loose, then all hell. Oh my God. Now I want to see it. Let's just do that. Let's just watch After Earth and then do a podcast where we just review After Earth.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Well, then that's our first idea is it'll be called After Earth, and it's us reviewing After Earth. Do you have any other ideas that we should consider here?
Yeah, I've got Geocache Money.
Okay.
And it would be just what it says it is. We'll set up a geocache and put a certain amount of money in it, and the podcast will be us possibly giving clues to its location. So it would be like a string of riddles in podcast form with a real prize payout. And subsequent episodes will probably have a rundown of who successfully found the money and give like hopefully there's a lot of it's a mad world kind of shenanigans happening amongst our listeners.
We could release bonus content that way, where it's just on a thumb drive.
Yeah, I mean the first geocache could just be another clue down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And if we do a good enough job, we can probably just put money in it one time and just nobody got it. Many people
nobody
died.
got the money.
Yeah.
They all died. We climbed up to the top of a volcano, and we ghosted the Ursa.
Yeah.
And we threw the podcast money.
We were unsuccessful in firing off the beacon, so
no one got the beacon because the Ursa got it. I really want to know what the Ursa is. That sounds crazy as hell. Oh my God.
Do you think it's just a straight up normal bear, or do you think it's a space bear?
Gotta be space bear.
What, like maybe more eyes?
Chewbacca.
Oh yeah. I always thought Chewbacca was like a space monkey.
It's just Chewie.
He is bear-like.
He's firing his bowcaster at Jaden Smith. Look out, ghost him.
Yeah. Well, I'd be a lot happier with Chewie finding our geocache than Jaden Smith. I don't think he needs anything else.
So we would actually have to go out into the world and like plant things for this podcast to work.
Yeah. Also, probably
like
set up some traps because you don't want just the first person to try to get it.
Yeah, that's true. If this is going to be a popular podcast, we're going to have to like nerf those stats a little bit,
Yeah.
Keep some of these people out of the mix. We can't make it that easy.
Yeah, ideally, this could spin off into a reality television competition. There's some amazing race potential.
We'll just get we'll get like a big wooden box, right, with like a stick holding it up with a rope, and a pair of Beats headphones inside. And that's to trap people who are trying to get to the geocache.
And maybe, do you think that whatever the clue in the box is should self-destruct after it's been read?
Yeah, so reel-to-reel tape that starts smoldering.
Did we ever really have that technology, or was it just a Mission Impossible writer's fever dream that...
I mean, we might never know, but it is... I've always just accepted it as fact that there is a type of smoldering tape. Just probably just really easy to fit like a fog machine into an old reel-to-reel tape machine. That's just what they went with.
I mean, I know it's really flammable. We've lost a lot of movies because just giant fires.
Yeah. Just modern day Mission Impossible. It's not Mr. Phelps, right? Mr. Phelps dies in the first Mission Impossible. He turns out to be a traitor.
Yes.
It's
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt. Yeah, they just sent Ethan Hunt all of his stuff on like a Huawei branded SD card that corrupts immediately. It said it was 256 gigabytes, and then when I tried to put my files on it, it just crashed. I lost everything. I don't have the knock list anymore. I'm sorry to the Huawei brand and President. Oh, wait, who's the president of China now?
Ooh, I'm picturing his face.
I don't want to guess because anything I say would sound racist.
Yeah, same boat here.
I think it's like Ping or
that was in my head too.
Jeez, oh boy,
we're gonna find out. Xi Jinping.
Okay, so
Jinping.
I was right. It was President Xi Jinping. Just a thought.
And that first name is XI. What a cool, sexy first name for a president.
President X. He's XY.
He's got an eye patch.
He's XY and he knows it. He has an eye patch?
Yeah, no, I'm picturing like him like a Snake Plissken version of it.
He's like a villain from the Metal Gear games.
Everything's black, silver, and neon pink in his presidential garb.
Yeah. Yeah, he dresses like an 80s movie villain. All of his like goons have like shoulder pads and gloves.
Just carrying
80s goons love
and
to wear
pointing
gloves.
Uzis at everything willy-nilly.
All right, so that's
Geocache Money.
The Geocache Money podcast. Here's my first idea for a podcast. This would be a podcast where we just pitch ideas for magic tricks.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen someone pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Uh-huh.
I haven't ever seen someone pull a rabbit out of a shirt pocket.
I mean, this is the easiest part, right? This is like writing a mystery novel where you don't have to write it. All you have to do is say, the butler did it, and then move on.
Yeah. Somebody else will do the work, but it is valuable work because we're letting magicians know what we'd like to see.
Yeah.
What would tickle our fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I've also no more ring tricks.
Ring tricks.
Get them out.
Get them out of here. No more rings. 2020.
Okay. Maybe we're gonna use not just your standard deck of cards. We're gonna start using baseball cards.
Baseball cards.
Was this your card? Yes, my card was Sammy Sosa.
You could do Uno cards.
Yeah. And then sometimes, he would have to, reverse the trick.
Uh-huh.
And so he'd have to put, like, the rabbit back into his shirt pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes he'd have to draw 2 cards.
Just, what about
himself? Or herself.
Yeah.
I mean.
Wait. Female baseball players?
Oh, magicians.
Oh, I was picturing Sammy Sosa doing the trick himself.
Oh no, I just meant that was
himself.
my card.
I was like, damn, this is getting better all the time.
I don't know. I think Sammy Sosa could probably be a pretty good magician.
You take the card, it's Sammy Sosa, then you put it back in the deck, and then you're like, oh, I can't find it. Oh, look, is that your card behind you? Oh, it's Sammy Sosa. It's like, hey, it's me, Sammy Sosa from the Dominican Republic. in his pink suit and hat.
Mm-hmm. And then he'd do his thing where he gives you a peace sign but kisses it and then taps it to his heart.
Mm-hmm. Nothing but love.
Yep.
Another idea for a magic trick. Instead of doing cards, what if you just tore all the pages out of a book? And you just had a bunch of loose leaf paper. You're like, was this your page? It is a far, far better thing that I do. You just have to remember what page of War and Peace. You're like, oh my God. Or just books. You're at the library and you're like, just pick a book out here. Was this your book? The Brothers Karamazov.
Yeah. I've been to restaurants where they have magicians just walking around. Like, I've never been to the library.
Library magician. Make it happen.
It's already a wonderful place, but they're falling on hard times. We don't support our libraries like we should. And how do we get people to come back out and get some books? Pay a magician to walk around.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, boy, oh boy. There is definitely some branded content possibilities here. Get a sorting hat.
You mean like
at the library?
A Harry Potter sorting hat?
Yeah.
Like enchant the hat so that it can speak?
Yeah, just a talking hat. And then the hat's like you show up and the magician puts the hat on you and then the hat's like Cormac McCarthy. It just sends you off. It just says a Dewey Decimal System number.
That's the thing is it can bring people in, but also that hat is good at sorting, and that's all being a library. A lot of what being a librarian is sorting.
That fucking hat just sent me to the molecular biology section.
Yeah, we got to make sure that it's on Dewey Decimal and not just like spitting out Library of Congress. Because people are going to get really confused.
Send me to the Library of Congress. I have to watch all the Rankin Bass Christmas specials.
Yeah, it knows you pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of that hat. There are certain things that I'd like to keep secret.
I think that hat could have its own podcast. Just the Sorting Hat podcast. Just get that hat in there. Every episode, the hat has to sort things out.
Does it have to actually be on your head to know anything about you? Does it have to physically touch you to read you?
We could just, listen, nobody's going to know. We could just pretend to be the hat. I think this could be like a hit podcast. The Sorting Hat podcast, where it's just the hat hosting the podcast. And then he's sorting things like Hufflepuff.
Yeah, you gotta say it like he couldn't just speak
Gryffindor.
It was like an explosion every time it spoke.
Then the hat also hates trans people for some reason.
Just really disappointing hat. We all love that hat so much, and then
it's like Gryffindor, also male. All right, you got another idea for a podcast?
Sure. I've got Well, Pardon Me.
All right.
And this would be a call-in podcast, and we would be a confession booth for our listeners.
Ooh, I like this idea a lot.
So we'd have to, dole out a whole bunch of Hail Marys and whatnot.
Yeah.
Stern, tough love.
Yeah.
But, accepting that we're all human and we all make mistakes.
This is very similar to a podcast that exists called We Still Like You. Mm-hmm. Check out, there's an episode with yours truly. This is just a plug for We Still Like You. It's a fun podcast where people tell embarrassing stories.
This is going to be a little more sin-focused.
Sin-focused, and that's good because people love sin.
And having their sins pointed out to them.
Oh,
so they can avoid them.
We actually, we are the judge.
It's kind of like, we still love you, but here's some stuff to work on.
We're judge and jury.
Yeah. And
we're kind of...
If need be, executioner as well.
It keeps the audience on the edge of their seat, knowing that at any point we could kill one of our listeners.
Kind of like Father Dread.
Father Dread?
Yeah.
That's who delivers presents in Jamaica.
But we'd have to... The first episode might be a little bit difficult because I don't know that people associate us with the path to God like they should.
Yeah.
But I think we can probably get somebody to be a guinea pig. Somebody will volunteer.
Yeah.
And tell us their
sins.
sins.
Once we have Father Dread and the sorting hat on our side.
Yeah. But it's kind of an exciting thing because it's
Father
usually a private conversation, and this is going to be public. It's kind of like when HBO made that In Therapy TV show, and
Dr. Katz.
Yeah, Dr. Katz, professional therapist. If possible, I'd like this podcast to be in squiggle vision.
I think we can just tell people it is. How are they going to know? Like, we can hear.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to build up trust. Like I feel like I gotta stop lying so much. I've gotta be a good priest.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about what a fucking buck wild podcast it'd be to have a Jamaican Santa Claus and the sorting hat. Like the hat hates trans people, and Father Dread doesn't believe in abortion.
Would Father Dread be wearing the sorting hat?
He's got this. It's the Rastafarian color. It's like a knitted sorting. Sorting hacky sack. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I like it. We can definitely. Lord knows I can judge people.
Okay. Do you have another idea?
I do. I wrote down AJ's Magic Flavor Lab.
Ooh.
Now, this is one of those ones that I wrote down when I was very tired. And I imagine that you would have like spiral. The podcast would have, it would just be your face.
Uh-huh.
And you'd have like spiral hypnotizing eyes and like a fez on.
Okay.
And it would say AJ's Magic Flavor Lab. And what that means is completely up to you.
Well, I do enjoy playing with flavors. I made some Christmas cookies a couple of months ago and made my own spumoni frosting for them.
Now, spumoni, that's a wine?
No, it's an ice cream.
Oh.
It's the dark chocolate, cherry, and pistachio ice cream. It's done up like a Neapolitan ice cream where all three of them are next to each other. But I made a dark chocolate, maraschino cherry, and pistachio frosting. You get the free spumoni ice cream at the old spaghetti factory. Yes.
Ugh. The last time...
In a little tiny metal bowl.
Yeah. Folks, is the spaghetti factory, is that like a chain?
Yeah.
The last time I went to the old spaghetti factory, it's like where you always have to go when a kid has a birthday, because kids think it's a fancy restaurant.
Uh-huh.
The last time I went there... I had the most on cocaine waiter I've ever had in my life.
He was doing magic tricks.
His magic trick was sweating so hard that the sweat dripped.
Making cocaine disappear.
He sweat so bad that the sweat dripped off his nose into my salad, and I just handed it back to him.
At least it wasn't a nosebleed.
And then, as I was leaving, I saw that it had a C rating from the health board, and I was like, next year we're going to Chuck E. Cheese or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's another idea. Just nowhere near enough animatronics in this America right now. All the Chuck E. Cheeses are closing down.
They don't even, a lot of times, they don't even have the animatronics. They just have a video screen. It's
Really?
It's incredibly disappointing.
I don't think that they've made any new ones since the 90s. I think that they're just, when they break down, they're gone and done.
That's how they do. Yeah, they just...
This is not the vision that Walt Disney had.
Yeah, there's not enough Imagineering going on.
I mean, when I went through the Hall of Presidents, I foresaw a future in which we would have an already animatronic president that they would have to then make an animatronic of.
That's the dream, really, right?
And we're so far off course.
That's the loophole. You can impeach Donald Trump, but there's a robot Donald Trump. Totally different guy. He can run for president. He's going to get more votes, too, because it kind of seems like they just dressed up the Hillary Clinton robot to look like Donald Trump.
Well, she's a hologram. And that's
the hologram of presidents.
Trump's always going after how he can see right through her, and he's not flesh and blood, but he's here, and he can bend a metal bar.
That's true. That's true.
But there'd be a lot of flavors we could play around with. I'd probably take the literal, and it would all be about food and different food ideas in my mind. But I mean, I guess we could also do like flavor, as in like I'm gonna put some stank on this podcast.
Yeah, it could be flavor
it up.
Flavor Flav. Ooh, it's where it's like a Boys from Brazil thing, but where you have Flavor Flav. You're cloning Flavor Flav.
Can Father Dread come?
Father Dread is there. The Sorting Hat.
We'll order pizza.
Can't make heads nor tails of all of these Flavor Flavs from Brazil. I tried to get another beer, and it was more of an ordeal than I thought. I feel like we still have so far to go to sound professional.
Yeah. It's true. I might have been biting off a little more than I can chew with the... well, pardon me, because I don't know that let the first among us without sin cast the first stone, or whatever that
done
malarkey is. But
I have never sinned.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
Was it tough?
No.
Just did you have to? Do you have any tips?
No, that's actually why my penis was cut off in a thresher accident. No tips.
Oh, I guess that would make it easier.
It took the whole shebang, actually. It's not just the tip. I got no stem, no seeds.
Just like a Ken doll down there.
It's as smooth as an egg.
Did it, it just popped right off in the hole?
Just like, it was like pulling a grape off the vine. I hope we don't have anyone who listens to this who actually had their penis and balls torn off in a thresher, because hearing us,
I'd imagine if you had your penis and balls ripped off by a thresher,
you gotta have a sense of humor about this sort of thing.
You're probably a pretty funny dude.
You got a lot of time to write jokes. Or
just a really horny dude.
I think about that so much, like whenever, like. Now, stop me if I've said this on the air before, but every time I read a story where a lady where a man gets his penis cut off in some sort of a crime of passion, my first thought is like, God, I bet he's so productive. I get a little bit of jealousy, like, oh, think of all the shit I could get done if I didn't have a penis. I'd write that novel. It's called The Man Without a Penis.
The man with no will to keep going.
It's a guy with no penis who solves murders. It's like, well, all the other cops were fucking. I went out and looked for clues.
Can like in his spare time, can he also be part of a boys' choir?
Yeah, he does. He has like a side career where he's a beautiful soprano.
When they back in the olden times when they would castrate people so that they could maintain a high singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
Does losing your balls but keeping your penis, do you still have desires, or is it just like is it just it's just a drain now?
I don't. My only frame of reference for this would be my girlfriend's dog Ziggy.
Mm-hmm.
He don't got no balls. He has a lot of nervous energy, and his dick got stuck out the other day. Couldn't get it back in.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just had to get wrapped up in a blanket for a while.
A good swaddling will take care of that for you.
So I guess that's probably what it's like to be a crime-solving castrato. You got a lot of time to sing, a lot of time to find the jigsaw killer. Every once in a while, though, you got to get wrapped up in a blanket.
Put to bed.
Because your pecker's sticking out.
It won't go back inside. You also have a red rocket.
You have a red dog thing. So this is our detective novel series.
Oh man,
Jake, what's the character? Jake Eggless.
Eggless.
Yeah, because his balls are gone.
Okay.
It's the Curious Case of the Clock, a Jake Eggless story by Nathan P. Woodard and Andrew Estes.
When two writers write a book, how do they do that?
I think it's Exquisite Corpse style. They just go back and forth every sentence.
I like what you did there.
2001. There you go. Who was that guy?
2001.
Arthur C. Clarke.
Yes, but they worked on the book hadn't been out for a long time and then got adapted into a movie. It was a collaboration.
Yeah, they co-wrote the book
collaborated and the movie was a collaboration as well.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, but that to me in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, Arthur C. Clarke wrote the book and Stanley Kubrick made the movie.
I like the idea of them doing an Exquisite Corpse because it's like, yeah, and then there were monkeys. And then he's like, monkey throws a bone in the air, and then he passes it off. And then there was a space station. The bone turns into a missile. I think that might be the way it was done.
It's possible.
I feel like that might be also how the movie Eight-Legged Freaks was written, because that makes zero sense. There's a part in that movie where it's one of those movies where the movie forgets that it has a narrator at one point. Like the point of view changes. It's supposed to be a narrator, and then it just becomes a first-person story. And then at the end, the narrator comes back in, but it makes no sense because it's not been told from like a third person
Was it one of those ones where they probably sent it to a focus group and they were like, we don't know what the hell's going on.
And then they shot a scene with a narrator at the beginning and end. Yeah, that probably is what it is. Ugh. All right. Let's go to our audience submissions.
All right.
I think we've each done 2, right?
I believe so, yes.
Whatever, we've done so much.
Yeah, we've done 2.
Our old friend Danny writes in this week, Pimp My Podcast. This is where we find a failing or underappreciated We find a failing or underappreciated podcast and give them a makeover.
Okay.
So this would be ideally we would be the first ones to be on this podcast.
We'd have to pimp our own podcast.
We need Exhibit to come in and tell us what we're doing wrong, because so far...
He can play Father Dread.
He could be Father Dread. I honestly, given all the like homophobic, problematic nature of what we were going with that, I think HR from Bad Brains should be Father Dread. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think what this podcast is missing is some LED lights,
like a DVD
a
player,
drop-down DVD player, maybe a hot tub, a wet bar.
Maybe like an aquarium built into the panels where the fish are just going to die almost immediately.
Yeah. A sorting hat.
A red rope licorice dispenser.
Yeah.
A
smoke screen.
Testicle ticklers.
Yeah. Testicles.
Yeah.
Truck nuts. Just put some truck nuts on this podcast. I could probably... There is a podcast that always comes up whenever I try and find the link for our podcast. What is it? There's one when I'm trying to find our podcast.
Is
on
it something
iTunes.
like we don't have a name yet or something like that? I think.
We don't have a name for it yet. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think they'd probably appreciate a little unsolicited advice. They sound like possibly some like-minded individuals who'd be...
Donk, donk, donk. What the hell's going on here?
That's funky.
Well, I don't know what that was. That was a mistake. Huh. Well, Apple Podcasts is currently not working. Can't connect right now, it says. Fine. I guess we won't be listening to part of that, and that's fine by me. Let's go. Let's take a brief break for an ad, and then we will come back with some suggestions from the Podtron.
Wonderful.
Whatever. Well, and we're back. Now let's go to the Podtron and see what it has cooked up for us this week. The Podtron, of course, is an artificial intelligence that takes all of the top podcasts in the world and tries to synthesize new podcasts from those names. Here we go. All right. So we got the printout here. You got anything?
The Podtron wants a show called Hell Innovations.
God damn it, that was going to be my first one too. Hell Innovations. I like this a lot. I'm really interested in what kind of innovations can be made in hell. I don't know how familiar you are with the works of Albrecht Dürer.
Not entirely familiar.
There's a famous triptych painting called "In the Garden of Earthly Delights."
Okay, I'm familiar with that.
There's some shit in there that scared the hell out of me as a child. I think more than all of the fire and brimstone Christianity I was exposed to. The part where a man is being forced to slide down a saw naked. Really, I think there's something where they're cramming stuff up a guy's butt in that painting too. Yeah.
That's one of those ones where you can look at it from far away, and there's so much detail in it, you can focus on a square inch of it, and that could be a painting, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's ridiculously intricate.
like a photo mosaic. It's like
Okay.
the Truman Show poster.
Okay.
You get in close, you're like, oh, wait a minute. There's a lot going on here. Truman is having a horn put up his butt.
Yeah. I do think that it's something that people have thought about a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of modern technological innovations haven't been brought into that world. Like, there are no cyborgs in hell. And
There could be
hell
cyborgs.
You know, you could have additions to your body that are merely there to cause you pain.
Is Hellboy a hell cyborg? What's that fist of his made out of? Is that mechanical?
I don't believe so. I think it's
Just made of rocks?
Yeah.
Just has a rock fist?
Yeah, big rock fist.
Now see, that could be, we could jazz him up a bit.
Yeah, put a little more whirring machinery on that fist. Maybe it's slices and dices.
Yeah, give him like a deli slicer for his other hand.
Maybe it's a slap chop, and he has to put it down and then hit it with his other hand.
He puts the slap chop onto a demon, and then he just hits it with his rock hand. And it perfectly dices. I like the idea of Hellboy being able to make cold cuts. Not just in war times, but also in peace.
Yeah. Well, also with this, you know, he's mostly fighting demons and Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what either one of those things taste like.
I think Nazis probably taste like some sort of a sausage. A knockwurst or something. It's perfect.
But yeah, if Hellboy could enjoy a sandwich of his fallen foes.
Demons probably smoked meats.
Maybe. I think that they're probably a little spicy.
Yeah. It's like a thick pepperonette.
It's probably got like a gamey flavor that you're gonna have to add a lot of spices to.
Yeah.
To
elk
to
sausage.
Yeah.
This is not gonna be a Oscar Mayer offering. That's for sure.
Do you think it's weird that Oscar Mayer never claimed that he was the mayor of Baloney Town? Oscar, mayor of Baloney Town.
Yeah.
They had a really good little song, but there are a lot of branding opportunities.
With the whole mayor thing?
Yeah. I know it's spelled different, but, I mean...
They could have got John Mayer in there.
My Uncle Oscar's Baloney Company's the best.
Hey, I'm John Mayer. I know you thought it was Mayer.
Yeah, your body is a baloney
Hi,
land.
this is John Mayer for Oscar Mayer's Mayo. And, you know, if you love bland white stuff, like me, don't take it from me, take it from jazz legend Eric Clapton. Hello, everyone, I'm Eric Clapton, and I'm sorry about the racist things I said when I was on cocaine. Try Oscar Mayer's Mayo, featuring John Mayer. It's Mayorolicious. You're not sure which one he said there because just kind of his accent makes them all sound.
Well, he's only going to take one take at this.
They don't. I don't even think they have mayors in England, right? It's like they have a barrister or something like that. You can get Eric Clapton to sign off on anything. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, he'll shill for anything. They should have got him for the clapper.
He had that song about cocaine. He had a few of them, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where he's riding the train.
Yep, but, you know, they say write what you know.
It's true. That's why I only write... That's why I don't write anything.
Yeah, I'm shit at writing.
Yeah. That's why I only write half-finished jokes. Let's see. What else? I really wanted to say Hello Innovations, and then it just ran out of steam on it. Oh, here's one that I like. It's called Dave Your Enemy. Now, this would be where every week we would pick out a Dave, and then we would have to start shit with them.
Okay.
I mean, we got a lot of Daves to work with, right?
I mean, there's a whole song about the Daves you know. And we could just go through
I don't
those.
know that song, but if I had to guess...
It's Kids in the Hall song.
Oh, I was going to say They Might Be Giants. Sounds like the kind of trifling bullshit they like to get mixed up in. I think right away...
I don't know that many Daves. I know a lot of Davids. But it seems like most people I know with that name make me say the whole thing.
They make you, and that's why they're your enemy.
Yeah.
I would say number one, inaugural podcast episode, we got to go after Dave Navarro.
Oh, yeah.
That guy. He's like a magician that doesn't know any tricks.
It's true.
That's totally his vibe. He's like Los Angeles magician who never learned any tricks. He's part of that whole,
Yeah, it seems like he and David Blaine have the same makeup artist.
They probably have the same strain of human papillomavirus.
Who do you think would have been a better replacement guitarist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, David Blaine or Dave Navarro?
I believe Dave Navarro
they're
was
both Daves.
A replacement guitarist.
I know. I was just like, could they just not get David Blaine?
They couldn't get David Blaine. He's like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are on tour, and every night they just wheel out David Blaine frozen in a block of ice. I just thought it would be really spooky if I didn't play the guitar. Ever since I was a little kid, I could talk to dead people. Anyway, here we go. This is Apache Rose Peacock. Remember that song?
No.
There's a part in it where he just goes, "My dick got hard."
Gotta wrap them up.
I bought that CD and I was so disappointed. Oh boy.
How often do you think the Red Hot Chili Peppers have to be wrapped up in a blanket?
Oh, because of the
all they got on
every
is
night.
all those socks.
That's why they have the sock. Their little red rockets are stuck out.
That's what Red Hot Chili Peppers is actually in reference to.
It's
their dog penises.
Their sore little dog penises. Yeah.
One of them's got flea bites all over it, too.
He's getting fleas. So that's Dave Your Enemy.
I like that one. I when you said it like that, it made it sound like Dave was a verb. How would one
like
Dave?
Know your enemy. Dave Your Enemy. It's like the movie Dave. It's where your enemy is in a coma and you have to find a body double to stand in for your enemy. Like the movie Dave.
Okay.
So my enemy is that kid who played Simon on Seventh Heaven. So I would have to find some other Weasley little Malfoy looking motherfucker. Be like, I'm ruining it every time you try to masturbate to this show. Because what's that lady that was on that show?
Seventh Heaven?
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Who's the teen actress?
Is she in like big movies and stuff?
I think she's not, but she's just. Who is it? Who is it? Who was on Seventh Heaven? I'm gonna feel so dumb when I see. Yeah, what's her name? It's not Jessica Alba. It's the other one, Jessica Biel. Thank you, Jessica Biel. Right? What else was she in? Oh, The Illusionist.
Yeah.
And Next. That's what those are the top 2 known for on IMDb.
I'm trying to think of a good movie that she's in, and I'm having trouble.
I am not.
I think she was maybe in that baseball movie, Summer Catch.
She was. She plays herself on BoJack Horseman. She was in.
Is she Ryan Reynolds' wife?
She's in Hitchcock. Oh no, that's Hancock.
What's Hitchcock?
Probably about Alfred Hitchcock.
Probably.
Yup. It is a Alfred Hitchcock. Here's the good movie she was in. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Wow. That movie, I haven't ever seen it, but I'd imagine it has not aged well, because I remember when it came out, people were like, this is shitty.
Yeah, she was in a movie called The Rules of Attraction.
I've seen that movie.
You're thinking of Laws of Attraction, the Pierce Brosnan film?
No, Rules of Attraction. That's a Bret Easton Ellis book that got a. I think it is. It's got a. It's also got what's his name from Dawson's Creek in it.
James Van Der Beek.
Yeah. And Shannon Sossamon is in it.
Shannon Sossamon.
Where have you gone, Shannon Sossamon?
Shannon Sossamon. She was in.
But probably most famously, A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, it looks like she was a voice actor in one of the Hitman video games. She was also in the Beastie Boys' last music video. Huh. All right. Well. Yeah, so that's what was that? Dave Your Enemy?
Dave Your Enemy.
Boy, we really got off track with that, huh?
Yeah. We'll try hard.
We'll try harder. We do a good job sometimes.
All right, I've got another one. It's 99% invisible. Thanks, podcast. And I think that this would be where we would try to ghost things, but not entirely.
Well, 99% Invisible is a podcast.
But this is 99% Invisible. Thanks, podcast.
Thanks.
You want me to pick a different one?
No, we can do this one. It would just have to be where it. I mean, I think we can do it because this would kind of be, like The Talking Dead or like one of those. It's like an after show. So like every week when 99% Invisible comes out, then we do our podcast.
And it'll just be thanking them.
Where we're just graciously thanking Roman Mars for his podcast about design. We're like, yeah, oh yeah. We also love architects. This is great stuff.
I thought it was really good when
I thought it was great when you interviewed that guy.
This is just going to be the Chris Farley Show, the podcast.
Can we get Roman Mars? Do you think we can get him? We'll just tell him, like, we're just going to be really gracious and thank you the whole time.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
He likes podcasts.
Yeah. In beautiful downtown Oakland, California. That's what he says at the end of every. And then he's like, oh, this is also brought to you by one of those internet furniture companies. I bought a desk for my office here at Radiotopia, and everyone loves it so much. They all come into my office and they say, thank you so much, Roman, for buying this wonderful desk. It's a beautiful piece of mid-century art. And I've bought a bunch of couches and things from my home now, too. And you can, too. You can buy them right now. And then everyone here at Radiotopia will come to your house and they'll say, thank you for buying this beautiful piece of furniture in beautiful downtown Oakland, California.
And then we can thank him for his wonderful advertisements and the wonderful products. That
we'll swear fealty to the Radiotopia family. We'll just be like hangers on, though. We'll be like, yeah. It's a fiefdom. We're not actually part of the.
We're very much just yes men.
Yeah.
We just pointing at everybody and telling them that they're the man.
You the man. What else is on Radiotopia? That's the only one I listen to.
I don't know. I've never listened to that before.
Oh, you should. Let's see. Podcast on Radiotopia. Ear Hustle. Some of these don't even the podcasts don't have names. The Truth. Oh, there's one called The West Wing Weekly. And it looks like they are pro West Wing. So, ooh. They like that show. Huh?
Oh. It's about the show?
It's about the show. I know there is a West Wing podcast where they make fun of the West Wing for being maudlin and foolish. This one appears to be a fan cast of the West Wing. I tried to watch the West Wing, and even before it got into like the political aspect, I couldn't take it seriously because of the music. I don't know if you've ever watched the West Wing.
I have, but I was watching it when it was on.
It reads like a Hallmark Christmas movie. If instead of believing in the spirit of Christmas, you believe in neoliberal politics. There's just magical music. Like the president is a single dad who had to move back to lives in a small town and owns like a woodworking business. And then like a high profile New York City lady has to move back to like liquidate her father's dumb Christmas ornament company or something like that. Dave Your Enemy. Is that what we're still on that one?
No, that was we were just doing 99% Invisible.
Thanks podcast.
Yeah. So,
thank you, Roman Mars. Thank you so much.
Do you have another one that's jumping out at you?
I have yeah. This one is called CBS Next Big Idea.
Okay.
And I guess that what this would just be us pitching ideas for CBS primetime.
Well, are we going to
procedural dramas?
Are we going to be pitching that, or are we? I'd rather pitch a show for their streaming service, which seems to want to do really nerdy sci-fi shit.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
And frustrate me because I don't want to pay for CBS.
Nobody's going to pay for CBS's streaming service. Hey, come on over to CBS. You can pay the same price as Netflix to get 2 shows.
Yep.
What else is on there, CBS?
Hey, well, Disney did it for one show, so...
I think sure did.
You know, fair enough, CBS. At least you made Star Trek and what's Jordan Peele's
the Twilight
Zone.
What's Jordan Peele's thing?
I was blanking on
it's
Twilight
called Mad TV.
Well, that's the first pitch. Bring back Mad TV.
Bring
original
back
cast.
Mad TV.
Do it good this time. That many talented people shouldn't have a middling sketch comedy show. We're not making it for 12-year-olds.
Bring
this
back
time.
Ms. Swan. I mean, honestly, if we do it, we are making it for 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
we've already
that's true.
proven that that's our hot demo. I'd like to see CBS get into I don't think CBS has any animated programming.
I don't believe they do.
When was the last time they did? Capital Critters?
Maybe yeah.
I think. Wait, was that seriously on CBS? Because if it is, that is the best pull I have ever had.
I'm trying to think what of the big channels. I know the Flintstones was a primetime big network show.
Ah, fuck. It was on ABC. Damn.
CBS in general, stodgy and boring. Big fans of did they ever make a big single camera sitcom?
CBS?
Because it seemed like all of their shows remain multi-camera live studio audience shows.
Well, now you got me. Oh, I just want to say that if we crossed over Capitol Critters with the West Wing, I think we might have something there. Let's see. Oh, it looks like... It looks like the first thing that came up was a Deadline article saying that the CBS was actually in 2016 decided to turn their single camera sitcoms into multi-camera sitcoms.
They really doubled down on what's the opposite of innovating?
Retrovating.
Yeah, and it worked.
It's paid off in space. You know what? I will say, I know of one, a single camera, and it's young Sheldon.
Oh,
because they made a spin-off of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
where it's like, isn't autism funny? And then
do you think we're gonna follow that
shot
child
it
actor?
like it was Malcolm in the Middle?
Are we gonna see this Sheldon go to high school and then college? Are we
Sheldon
gonna,
goes bananas?
Keep making young Sheldon until it's like
young
our friend
Sheldon
Bow Wow, and it
Monte
just
Carlo.
becomes Sheldon.
It's just Sheldon.
Young Sheldon goes bananas.
They just bring him back around, and then they just refilm every episode of Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm. That's what most of my pitches are going to be. 2.5 Men. Same scripts, new cast.
Yeah. We get that kid back again to play now he plays Charlie Sheen's character. What's his name? Angus MacLeod?
I think that's the Highlander.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's why
maybe that's what it's about this time. I mean, there's 2.5 men, but there can only be one.
The half one is him, and he's been chopped in half, but he can't die.
We might be able to get Sean Connery back too.
I am the last one. It's Sean Connery's dragon from Dragonheart, and then Angus MacLeod from the Highlander, but he's been cut in half, so it's just from the waist up. And then Ducky again.
Yeah. He's not doing anything.
He's not busy.
But can he be Ducky this time and not whatever his character from 2.5 Men was? Like,
yeah, he's actually bald and not wearing ridiculous toupee.
No, he's bald, but he's wearing the ridiculous Ducky clothes. But it's explained away because he's in a ska band, so it makes perfect sense.
This time he's in a ska band. I heard a song the other day, and it was just. I think it was a version of Auld Lang Syne, and at the very beginning it was just like a normal, and for some reason I could tell it was going to turn into a ska version, and I was like, no! It's like I was witnessing a car accident. I realized that I was about to hear the ska version of Auld Lang Syne. I was like, these horns, it sounded like an old, like, and something about the way it was, like, mixed or something. I was like, those are ska horns. My God, I'm about to hear a ska version
wave?
of Auld Lang Syne. Oh.
Is this like a Madness style ska or
no? This was like third wave ska.
This is some skanky ska.
It might have been, yeah. It could have been like the Aquabats or something.
I was trying to make it like good in my.
It's like when you're like at Comic-Con, you see a guy that you think might be there to shoot people. You're like, I'm just going to keep an eye on this for a minute. Oh, okay. All right. He's doing magic tricks for cosplay girls.
Has anybody ever... It seems strange to me that nobody's ever shot up a Comic-Con.
Hey, I mean, we got a lot of young male listeners out there.
Do you think that they profile you if you cosplay as the Punisher?
You know what? I did a panel at a convention recently, and I was just hanging out at the convention, just kind of people watching, and there was a guy dressed up as Pink Man. I don't know if you remember Pink Man. He's a YouTube personality.
No.
He's like a kind of an edgy. He did the Harlem Shake. Anyway, the guy who was cosplaying as him was incredibly obnoxious, but I couldn't figure out if I was annoyed that he was obnoxious or that he wasn't obnoxious enough to be cosplaying as Pink Man. All right, that's what else do we got? Do we got another Podtron here? We did Dave Your Enemy, Hell, Innovations.
I'll throw another one out there.
All right.
Waddle and Sinead. Which it would be a podcast hosted by Duck and Sinead O'Connor.
Could it be Howard the Duck?
It could. We could do a different duck each week.
It could be a different druck. It could be Ducky.
Yeah, maybe it's
Ducky
and Sinead. But it's Waddle.
Waddle.
Yeah, which is that's kind of how you would describe a duck's gait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what else waddles.
Fat people.
That's true. We could just get some great big fat people on the.
Get the Fat Man from Jake and the Fat Man. I mean, as much as he probably disliked being called the Fat Man,
wouldn't that just be the Fat Man and Sinead?
Jake and the Waddler. That's what they should have just.
The Fat Man just like is like a truffle pig. He could just like sniff crime.
Just anytime somebody steals groceries,
B&E happening, Jake.
Jake just shows up. He's standing outside the crime scene wearing his trench coat and smoking a cigarette, and then he's like, "Well, all right, bring it up in the truck. Just beep, beep, beep." Pulls a big pin out, and the doors fall open. Fat Man comes out. Oh, he's got the scent.
He's on a leash that Jake's holding. That leash is attached to a harness, but it's like one of those harnesses that they normally attach to a crane when they have to move a very large shut-in out of their home for medical treatment.
It's the one they use to like transport killer whales.
Let's bring that show back too for CBS.
Yeah,
Jake and this time
Jake and the Waddler.
We're really getting like they didn't get a fat enough guy.
Look out, Batman! It's the Waddler. Waddle me this, Cape Crusader. It's just him trying to go up, trying to get up the steps to the Gotham courthouse.
He's always wearing pajama pants and slippers.
Oh, it's the Waddler, brought to you by Big Dog T-shirts. All right, which
I don't know. I want to keep programming for CBS.
I mean, we out of everything we've done, I think that my favorites have been the idea to do a Sorting Hat podcast or the CBS programming idea.
Let's put them in a jar and shake them up. We can let the Sorting Hat sort whether it's a CBS streaming idea or a CBS primetime idea.
Okay.
And then also which house that show would be in.
Wait, what was the... Yes, the sorting hat. Yeah, all right. So it's just... it's going to be us doing a sorting hat style podcast to pitch ideas for CBS.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah.
We might come up with a cool title, too, but...
Should we do that?
Right now, I don't got one, but give me a minute.
All right, let's think about this. It has to incorporate CBS. What was it? Next Big Idea? What was it called? CBS Big Idea? CBS Next Big Idea. So this almost feels like it could be like The Voice or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we have the sorting hat like sitting. Excuse me. The sorting hat's like in a judge's chair, and we're like, "Oh, what do you think, sorting hat?" And then it like spins around its chair and hits a big button, and it's like, Gryffindor.
It's almost like when the sorting hat actually speaks, it's projectile vomiting its words.
Yeah.
So I hope that we can keep that up through his judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
So it's called
CBS Next Big Idea.
CBS presents Next Big Idea, the sorting hat.
With your host, the sorting hat.
CBS Next Big Idea with your host,
the sorting hat from
okay.
Harry Potter.
So, yeah, if you want to hear CBS presents Next Big Idea with your host, the sorting hat, you can head over to patreon.com/we don't have a podcast yet. There you can sign up to become a premium subscriber if you support us at the $5 level or above. I think actually you can still probably get in at the $3 level for the early bird special. You can have access to the vault, where we keep all of our previous attempts at podcasting that have not been on the free brainstorming feed. These include things like the Ghost Horse Whisperer, We Hate Dogs. What were some other good ones? Can't think of. There's one where we talk about jerking off for an hour.
Yeah, the JOI podcast.
There's been there's been a whole bunch of them. Yeah, so head over there. Also, if you like our show, get your parents' permission to go on iTunes and leave us a review. Other than that, I just want to encourage everyone to donate to the Bernie Sanders campaign. And
give yourself a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice cream sandwich.
Sounds good.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.